How do you market software consulting services? Yeah, that's a really specific thing. Well, I've got the perfect fit. All of my clients are consultants of one type or another, and we found a way to leverage YouTube. Yeah, YouTube of all places, but really once you see this, the lights are going to go on in your head because you'll see how genius this is in developing referral quality leads for your software consulting business. So here's the key. Right now, people are going to Google and YouTube. They're searching for you and your expertise, but they're not finding you. One example that I found is, what is the best bookkeeping software for small businesses? That person is looking for advice. He's looking for a consultation, and that person may or may not be a great fit for your consulting services. Another question that I found is, what is business process management software? Yeah, they want to know what that is. Perhaps that's a good consulting client for you. Another one that I quickly found is, what is the best payroll software for businesses? Now there are thousands of questions like this, and out of the many, maybe even 10,000 questions people are asking, there's going to be a percentage of them that applies specifically to you, a percentage of them that are your ideal target audience. What would you do if you had a list of these 1,000 or 10,000 questions? Right? You could comb through that list, and just by reading the question, you would know whether they were a fit for your consulting services. Well, I'm going to show you how you can generate a list like that in just a moment. But the key is, once you find those questions, then the YouTube episodes that you make are just videos to answer those questions. So here's what that looks like. Somebody goes to Google or YouTube. They type in a real specific question. They find your video that has that title. The question that they were typing is the title of the video. So of course they're going to click on it. Of course they're going to watch it all the way to the end, and they're going to learn from you for about 10 minutes. They're going to see you as the expert, and they can take the next steps to reach out to you and have a conversation with you. So I'm going to share with you the 5-ingredient strategy that if you include all 5 ingredients in your videos, you will get results. You'll generate leads from YouTube. Ingredient number 1 is leaf titles. In order for you to know what a leaf title is, let me share with you my tree analogy. Okay, a tree has a broad trunk that goes out to the branches that goes out to leaves. The trunk is your core area of expertise. What are you an expert in at its core? And the branches are all the different categories, right? The leaves represent the questions in each of those categories. So let's say you're an expert in productivity. An example of a leaf would be, what can increase productivity in a dental office? Or a different leaf, how to improve productivity on a construction site. These are actual questions that I researched and I discovered that have consistent search volume every month. And that's all you have to do, is find questions like this that match your area of expertise and that match your target audience. So let me show you the tool that I use to find questions like this. This is called the Keyword Magic Tool, and you can get a free trial of this tool if you go to herokeywordtool.com. Let's say you're an expert on change. So you put change in the search bar, you hit search, you turn on the questions button, and then the filter that I turn on every time is word count. And I'm going to start with 8. That's the default where I love to start. So you're looking for 8-word questions. And here's some examples that I found. How to cope with change in your life, or how to deal with a life-changing injury. How to adjust to change in the workplace. Let me skip all the way down to the third from the bottom. What are the primary components necessary for lasting cultural change? That's 10 words long. It is crazy insane that somebody is typing in that specific of a question. And yet if we look to the right, there are 90 people every month typing in that 10-word question spelled that exact same way. That's the gold. There are thousands of questions like this, and you want to narrow it down to the questions being asked by your target audience and that obviously match your area of expertise that you can provide consulting in. So that's why in the beginning of this video I gave you some examples. Like questions they might be asking is, what's the best bookkeeping software for businesses, or payroll software? And you know your business much better, so as you go into that, use the free trial at herokeywordtool.com. You'll be able to start out with 1 or 2 or 3 words that will queue up the questions that relate to you and your consulting. All right, ingredient number 2 is your episodes need to be 10 to 12 minutes in length. All right, that's the sweet spot. You don't want to focus on YouTube shorts. You don't want to focus on like podcast length type content or movies or anything. 10 to 12 minutes is perfect for them to feel like they've gotten a great amount of value and for them to feel like they know you, to kind of build a relationship with you. Ingredient number 3 is retention. So if you've got a 10-minute episode, some people are going to click on the video and 30 seconds in, they're going to be gone. But others are going to watch this video all the way to the end. So if you have an average of 50% or higher, then YouTube is much more likely to promote that video to other people. You'll also have a lot more people that watch it to the end and want to become clients. Ingredient number 4 is custom thumbnails. Thumbnails are extremely important. Thumbnails have become very, very competitive on YouTube. So you've got to create some still image, some like marketing piece that people will see right along with the title. The title's always displayed below it to encourage people to click on it and watch your video. So in the thumbnail, you might want to have a picture of somebody sitting at a computer and maybe the text that says CEOs never tell you this. Something that will create curiosity that relates to the topic you're going to be talking about. And ingredient number 5, you've got to launch 5 episodes per week. That sounds like a lot, and it is. Basically, you're launching daily content. That's what I consider daily. But guess what? Me and all of my clients, we film 20 episodes in a single day. That means we only have to film once every 4 weeks. And yet if you do this strategy for a year, me and my clients are generating an additional 7 figures of revenue in their business from this strategy alone, just from the YouTube leads. I've got a few clients who are generating 8 figures of revenue per year just from following this strategy on YouTube. I hope you're excited to implement this strategy. And if you want to take it deeper, I've created a course. You can go to YouTubeLeadGen.net, and there you'll find my course. It's a $17 course called the YouTube Lead Gen Blueprint. So I take the principles that you've learned in this episode and I go into great depth so that you'll be able to really implement it. Another benchmark that I can give you is if you implement this strategy, after about 4 months, you'll dominate your first branch on YouTube. So if you think of that tree analogy, right? You've got the trunk of the tree and all these different branches. You'll be able to hone in on a branch that's your target audience, these people that would be ideal for your software consulting services. Follow this strategy for about 4 months, and any question that people ask on Google or YouTube on that branch, and they're going to find you. So I encourage you to look into that course and hopefully take that course. It's only $17. Go to YouTubeleadgen.net.